A major component of the Strategic Transport Master Plan, a compass for improved public transport infrastructure within Lagos, is the construction of a network of rail system for Lagos, Nigeria's fastest growing megacity. Tonight, our focus will be on the rail project. Good evening, I am Kate Harmony. Tonight on the program, we'll be getting an update on the Blue Line, a 27-kilometer railroad with 13 stations from Okukumaiko to Marina on our discussion segment. Good evening and welcome. I am Obafemi Craig. Join us after the break. This is the news update on Lamata FR. The bus system in Lagos is being reformed to make transportation better for the teeming populace. Managing Director, Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, Dr. Dayo Mobriola, gave the assurance when the delegation from the Office of the Public Complaints Commission, Lagos State Office, paid a courtesy visit to the management of Lamata. The delegation was led by the commissioner in charge of the Lagos office of the commission, Mr. Funsho Olukoga, who said the commission was in Lamata to seek areas of assistance to the authority in the area of public awareness. Dr. Mobriola said the authority has a robust plan for public transportation, noting the state has a transport master plan designed by Lamata, which details transport infrastructure needs of the state till 2032. He said the authority will continue to work with the private sector to have a sustainable transport system for Lagos. The Public Complaint Commissioner, Mr. Lukoga, had informed that the commission was a creation of the Constitution, adding that its role was mediatory. Mr. Lukoga said the commission employed moral suasion in resolving crises, which sometimes may appear challenging. The Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, Lamata, has urged motorists using Wemco Road to exercise caution when approaching from the mobile end of the road. The contractor working on the road is currently constructing a cross culvert at the junction, and this has necessitated a reduction in the width of the road at the entrance. According to the Managing Director of Lamata, Dr. Dayo Mobriola, the appeal has become necessary following reports of reckless driving by some motorists that may result in traffic gridlock. Dr. Mobriola said driving through a construction area requires a lot of patience and called for cooperation from road users by observing all road signs and diversions. He assured that when the road is completed, life will become easier for motorists plying the road and residents in the area. A stakeholders meeting on the closure of Lateef Jakande Road by Wemco Road has held in Lagos. The meeting was aimed at sensitizing members of the public on the closure of Lateef Jakande Road, which is to enable the contractor constructing the underground drainage project to cross the road from Wemco into Omole Gorge, where the drainage will discharge. The drainage, when completed, will collect flood water and other wastewater coming from Agege, Ogba, and environs, and prevent flooding usually experienced in these areas. It will also complement Wemco Road, currently being rehabilitated.
The essence of the drainage is to deflood the whole of Agege, Pen Cinema, Ogba, Mobile, to deflood it and take the water into Omole Phase 1 Gorge.
One of the residents commended Lamata for calling the stakeholders meeting and expressed the hope that the project is constructed to the best international standard.
Láti pé kẹ́rí bí true gbogbo ìtẹ́ tí ń bá bọ̀ ọmọnú níbẹ̀ yẹn ẹ bá kó ju 10 days yẹn lọ Ọlọ́run á fún yín ṣe.
And that ends the news. Up next is On the Move with Kate. Stay with us.
Basically, what Lamata does is to coordinate public transportation in Lagos State, and we came up with a transport master plan.
Developed together with the World Bank, the objective of this plan is finding long-lasting solutions for the problem of transportation in Lagos. Currently under its first steps of development, the plan has already proven itself a big success, dramatically increasing the connectivity in a city in continuous expansion and enjoying an unparalleled demographic and economic growth.
Our responsibility is to ensure that we provide the necessary infrastructure to meet the growth, to improve the quality of life, to improve the standard of living, and to make Lagos a vibrant and livable city in years to come.
Lamata, think transport.
The Lagos State government has a big agenda for transportation. The agenda is encapsulated in a transport master plan. One of the propositions of the transport master plan is to have several rail lines. In fact, one of the rail lines, the Blue Line Rail Project, from Okokomaiko to Marina, a 27-kilometer rail project with 13 stations. And we have the project manager, engineer Olasheni Akinwumi. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
So could you tell us, because I know we are at the precast yard, the work yard, where a lot of precast elements are constructed. What exactly happens here?
Well, whenever we need certain infrastructure components, if we can do them ourselves, the contractor uses this yard to assemble and construct and store some of these components. Recently this yard was used to do the sleepers. The sleeper production has now ceased for the time being, and what they're now doing now is producing the cable troughs, which will be used to manage the cable lines along the track. They also use this yard to produce the concrete jersey barriers, which will be used to protect the rail line right of way from the road. So you know, it's whenever we need components for the work, they design it here and then they manufacture them here. And what we use these for is that if you want to run power cables, communication cables, you can't just drop them on the track. They've got to be carefully protected. So this section here is the base, and then at the backyard over there you have the lids. The reason being that you have to cover them up. So you lay, I mean, because if you look at them, there's two chambers. One is for power, one is for communications. So you then, you lay them down and then you put your cables and you cover them up.
So from here we move to the National Theatre Station to see what's new. Let's go.
Lagos, my home. With Lamata, Lagos is changing for the best. BRT lanes, modern rail lines, pedestrian bridges, new roads, mega city.
We are at the National Theatre Station, and this is where the phase 1 of this project terminates. Engineer Olasheni, I can see that this place has really transformed, and this is so different from what I saw the last time I came here. What happened?
Well, work proceeded. What we've done now is we've more or less completed the main structure of the National Theatre Station. We've put on a roof and we've finished the platforms. So what's next now, what they're doing is laying the tracks inside the platforms and also fitting out the stairs, the lighting, the toilets and all the other amenities that we needed for it to become a functional station. And the work has been very steady, but very, very steady. I mean, the guys have really worked very well. They've produced a wonderful looking station, a very iconic looking station with the National Theatre in the backdrop. National Theatre is one of the, I think, one out of 2 elevated stations which we class as type 3s, which means that the passengers access the station itself from below, the concourse where they get their tickets below, and then they climb up to the platforms. On the other stations, which are type 1 and 2s, which are where the passengers actually access the station from the top, but then walk downwards to get to the train, because the trains are at grade.
So we're just going to take a walk around this rail station to see the level of progress that's been achieved.
Lagos, my home. With Lamata, Lagos is changing for the best. BRT lanes, modern rail lines, pedestrian bridges, new roads, mega city.
delight seeing the work done already on this site. And with the first phase of this project almost completed and the commencement of the phase 2, there is a strong assurance that the Lagos State government is committed to delivering on its promise of a multimodal integrated public transport system for the teeming people of Lagos. For On the Move, I am Kate Harmony.
From On the Move, we take the update on the rail project further. We have with us in the studio Engineer Olubenga Dairo, a seasoned civil engineer and an expert in public transport. He currently serves as Director of Public Transport, Lamata, handling public transport infrastructure and system, multimodal integration, route licensing and franchising, phase and signalization, as well as enforcement and safety and traffic system management. Engineer Dairo, you're welcome.
My pleasure.
The Blue Line Rail project currently being built is 1 out of 7 planned for Lagos.
Correct.
Could you describe the Blue Line Rail project?
Well, it's a metro project, similar to the very many rail-based mass transit systems you will see in major world capitals, London, New York, Tokyo, and so on. This particular project, the Blue Line, will start off at Okomaiko,
okay,
towards the area of Badagry, and it will end at Marina, passing through Mile 2, National Theatre, before crossing the lagoon to terminate at Marina.
Marina.
It's 27 kilometers in length altogether. Nevertheless, we're constructing in phases and in stages. The first stage, which is being constructed, is between Mile 2 and National Theatre. The next stage will be continuation from National Theatre to Marina.
Okay.
And the final phase will bring in the Kokomaiko to Mile 2 section of that railway.
Wow.
So what is the completion timeline for the Blue Line? And we want you to also tell us more about the second phase. What will it entail? What infrastructure are to be provided?
Well, we expect to complete the current phase between Mile 2 and Marina in the next 18 to 20 months. The first stage between Mile 2 and National Theatre is more or less completed. The contractors are putting in finishing touches.
Okay.
But what is most important to the traveling public, of course, is the operational aspects of the project. And we are very busy together with the Executive Council, negotiating with potential operators who will provide the actual trains themselves that will operate between Mile 2 and Marina to start off with. And then when the completion to Komaiko is finalized and done, which probably won't happen for a few years yet, then we'll operate through Komaiko as well.
I know we have other rail lines planned for Lagos. We have the purple, the red, but we need you to educate our viewers. We want them to know about the other planned rail projects.
Okay. Beyond the Blue Line, as you correctly observed and said, there are 6 other lines.
Yes.
In various degrees of planning and design. The red line is identified as an important line running from Agbado through Oshodi, past Ikeja, also terminating at Marina.
I was wondering if it was ever going to get to Ikeja.
Passing, ending up at Marina as well.
Okay.
We also have the green line, which will also kick off from Marina, but this time heading towards the Lekki Peninsula.
Okay.
So the green line, which serves the peninsula, the blue line, which serves the Badagry Expressway axis, and the red line, which cuts across the spinal northern section of Lagos, constitute the spine or the core of the rail network for Lagos.
Okay.
Around those 3 lines are some other 4 routes, I beg your pardon.
Okay.
The purple route, which will run between Lasuiba, connecting the Blue Line, heading towards the northern part of Lagos, in fact, beyond Lagos into regions of Ogun State, such as where the Redeem camp is.
Really?
Yes. We do have a brown line also, complementing the BRT line along Ikorodu Road. We have a yellow line, which really will bring into connection with the rest of Lagos, the Alimosho area and the western parts of Lagos, the Yanopaja axis and so on. So those constitute the other lines that we are thinking of or planning for Lagos.
So it's basically cut across the entire metropolis.
It does. What I should remind the viewers is that we do have a transport master plan for Lagos. Okay. And that plan takes into account the possibilities for rail, BRT services, water transportation, and so on. So the railway network itself is not being looked at in isolation. Okay. It's the extent to which it brings together and integrates with the other public transport system that's planned for Lagos. That's how they become useful and effective to the traveling public. And the timing of the implementation of each of them depends on really how the scheme itself works with other existing projects, such as the Blue Line, the BRT, which we are doing at the moment, the extension, together begins to serve the priority needs of commuters.
It's still a matter half hour. We'll be right back after the break.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are all looking excellent. Our guest has been speaking on the rail project. Now it's time to take or hear your comments and contributions on the project. And it's a pleasure to have you all here join us on the program today. You're welcome.
Thank you. The bus transport railway system is in a bad shape, and one wonders what went wrong. What are you doing to bring back this system back to its former efficient condition?
Well, I have to agree with you that the standards at the moment is not the way we would like it to be. It's certainly not comparable to what it was when the project itself began back in 2008 and thereabouts. The challenges we have faced over the years, in recent years, I think has concerned the way and manner in which those whom we had entrusted the operation of the scheme to have handled the project. Our first reaction to the decline in the services being provided was to try and improve the training we are offering them, to expose them more to other services elsewhere so that they could understand our vision. So we've gone through that particular process. We're now at a stage whereby we are extending the project now to Ikorodu town. And it offers us another opportunity to re-engage again with these operators so that they understand that if they want to continue to partner with us on this project, they will need to step up in terms of the services they are providing. I don't know if you are aware or not, but we don't directly operate those buses and provide the services. What we have done is to engage with a third party run essentially by the National Union of Road Transport Workers. We've signed up with them a franchise agreement, which includes a service level agreement that determines the level and the type and quality of service we expect them to provide. And there are sanctions in place which we continue to apply from time to time. But clearly that is not enough, and we need to step that up a bit. The fact that we're extending to Ikorodu offers us another opportunity to re-engage, and if we feel that our expectations are not being met, then more drastic action will be taken.
Looking into the future, sir, could you please tell us when public transport would become integrated in such a way that only one payment platform would be used to pay for this public transport?
One of the functions of Lamata itself as an organization, in fact, is to provide integrated public transport in Lagos. That word integration, or to integrate, is one that runs through everything we do in our organization. And by now you'll have observed the fact that we do have a Connect card already operating on the BRT scheme, and that itself is integrated with the bus franchise scheme that runs along the Yanapaja axis. And as other formal public transport systems begin to come on stream, including the Blue Line, for example, that process of integration will continue to expand and even deepen further. So already we are at that stage where the services are being integrated, and all we can do is to continue on that trend going forward.
Well, sir, away from the studio audience session, we want to take some questions from the social media.
Okay.
This is coming from the Facebook. We have Prince Osaz, who wrote in to say that it is a pity that BRT buses just work to make money. It seems they do not care about rendering good services or their image. It says the seats in most BRT buses that he bought from Ojota are usually wet and dirty. He's asking, please ensure these areas are looked into.
We will, is the short answer.
All right. Another one is coming from Olaya Bilekale, who wrote in to ask, Is there any vacancy in your organization?
Well, if there are vacancies, I will advise the candidate to look out for them in the newspapers and other media by which we advertise vacancies in Lamata. That's the way we tend to do our recruitment.
And so on that note, we conclude the question and answer segment, and I will hand over back to Kate.
Thank you, Craig. So, Engineer Dario, we need you to give us your parting words to our viewers and stakeholders at home.
The connection between transportation and our well-being, the connection between transportation and the economy is now well established. Everyone who's involved with government, with key decisions to be made that affects every one of us, that now realizes that we need an efficient and effective public transport system if we want to improve the well-being and the quality of life of Lagosians, and also to improve the economy of our state. And therefore, going forward, the plans that we have set out at Lamata, at the Lagos State government level, we see those plans being implemented up until by the year 2020. And we can assure our viewers, we can assure Lagosians, assure commuters in Lagos that the future, in fact, for transportation, especially public transportation in Lagos, is very bright indeed. Thank you.
Thank you. We would like to appreciate your presence on Lamata Half Hour today. We do hope you will come back sometime soon.
It's been my pleasure.
We'll be back after the break.
Kókó tí àlejò wa pàtàkì ń sọ fún wa lónìí ni wípé ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó pẹ̀lú ìfọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ iléeṣẹ́ Lamata ti ṣetán láìpẹ́ láì jìnnà yìí láti pèsè lílo ọkọ̀ rélùwé fún lílò àti àǹfààní àwọn ará ìlú Èkó. Wọ́n wá ń rọ̀ wá wípé kí gbogbo wa ká fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú ìjọba àti iléeṣẹ́ Lamata láti lè mú ìlérí iṣẹ́.
The koko of wetin our guests talk be say, this railway wey Lagos State and Lamata dey do so, na for we own good o. No tey as e tey, we go all begin dey feel the enjoyment wey this railway go bring. But abeg o, make we all join hands together, make this work for go well well. Well, Craig, hope you are as excited as I am, because the future of transportation in Lagos State is one to look forward to, don't you think so?
It's more than thinking, so it should be a joy or a good thing to hear that the rail project is no more a dream, but a reality that has come to stay in Lagos State.
Well, we keep hope alive. For more information, you can use the details now appearing on your screen. We would love to hear from you. Every member of our audience will go home with a loaded Lagos Connect card. Till next week, Lamata.
Team Transport! Eko Akete, Lagos, my home. With Lamata, Lagos is changing for the best. BRT lanes, modern rail lines, pedestrian bridges.